Okay, hello. Today we're going to be looking at my Kobo Arc 10 HD, which I got last week. Now, anybody who looked at my last review of my Jide Remix Ultra tablet may be wondering, why you buy a new tablet? And it's a good question. Why did I buy a new tablet? Okay, well, to answer that, it's not new, it's refurbished. Okay, I got a really good deal. I will go into that in a minute. Just quickly go over the specs of this baby. It's a 10.1 tablet. It has a 2K screen, which means that it's 2560 times 1600 resolution, so that is 2K. It's got a Tegra 4 quad-core processor. I think that's clocked at 1.8 gigahertz, and it has 2 GB of RAM, and it has 16 GB of internal memory. So let me fix my camera here. Now, if anybody is not familiar with this brand, Kobo, I believe are a Canadian company, and they're more better known for their e-readers, various models. I own the Kobo, it's called the H2O, which is a waterproof e-reader, and it's very nice, backlit, and you can read it in the shower or the bath without fear of damage, and I'm really enjoying using it. Now, the design of the Kobo Arc 10 is quite similar to my e-reader, obviously, except for the size. It's pretty uninspiring slab, but you know, it's kind of industrial. I quite like it, to be honest with you. This is back stuff here has kind of got a rubbery feel to it here. You can see the stereo speakers. Front is quite wide band here, but that's not much of a big problem. To the side, you will see mini HDMI, USB for charging, and headphones. It has one camera, which is front-facing camera, which is here. I'm not even going to go into that camera. Who's going to be taking photos? I suppose it's okay for, I think it's 2 megapixels, something like that. I suppose for video calling people would be using it. The odd design choice is this button here. Just kind of looks a bit out of place and makes it look a bit cheap. It doesn't feel cheap, the tablet, because the tablet's quite heavy. It's about 1.6 pounds or half a kilo. So I mean, it's not a light tablet, but I think that the weight adds to the premium feel of it. It's not necessarily a premium look. So going back to why did I buy it? Okay, well, my Jide, which is there, is a great tablet. The screen is excellent. Everything about it is excellent. But you know, I was finding that I wasn't using it the way that I wanted to. I wanted to really use a tablet for work, so that I'm not carrying papers around, going to meetings and memos, etc., all that kind of thing, minutes of meetings, agenda. I wanted to have it just as an electronic copy in something that was relatively light and robust. And I came across this on eBay. Now, the first thing that struck me was when I looked on eBay was the price, because this came refurbished and I got it for $70. $70 for a 2K screen. And because I had the e-reader, I knew the quality, and I just I bought it. And really, when it said refurbished, I mean, this box had a couple of creases in it, but the tablet is is mint condition. I mean, it doesn't even look like it's been used. It's very good condition, and for $70, definitely a bargain. Okay, so people might say, oh well, the processor's a bit old and the tablet's over 2 years old. Yeah, but for what you're using it for, I really do think that it's a bargain. I'm using it for two main reasons, as I said, about work, for not carrying paper, and for reading magazines. So, you know, it really serves the purpose. The screen is pin sharp. Now I've got it on reading mode, which the icon, I don't know if you can see it, anyway, it's there, which basically dulls the screen down, so that it makes you know, magazines, books, etc. I was reading my book last night. As you can see, it really makes it a lot easier to read. It's a lot more friendly and you know, nice on the eyes. So it's for a 2K screen, as I said, it's pin sharp. It is very nice. Now, okay, the processor, it might be old, but it's a quad-core NVIDIA processor, and you know, it really does the job fine. For gamers, or really heavy gamers, maybe that's going to be a problem. But for me, who is really using it, I'm going to be using it for watching online, like the BBC iPlayer, something like that, and for reading, and for taking around my job, so that I don't have to carry paper. So it really covers all my needs, and maybe occasional light game that I might play if I'm incredibly bored. Okay, so the downside of it is, well, there's two downsides, I would say. First of all is the 16 GB of storage. That is it. There is no SD card slot, which is a bit of a shame, but again, for my needs, that will do me fine. I'll manage. But I would have liked a SD card. It would have just made life a bit easier for all of us. The other downside is that it is running, what's it running? It is running Android 4.2.2, which I think is Jelly Bean. So really, you know, that's very old compared to what we're up to now, Marshmallow or Nougat. Kobo have put a kind of skin on theirs. I will show you in kind of reading mode. Let me just touch my camera so I can see that I'm doing. Okay, Kobo have got a very light skin on it, and it doesn't really come with much bloatware, only some Kobo stuff. So here, once you're this is the home screen. Once you're on to the next screen is the Kobo store, and you know, suggested books for you to buy. Next screen is, okay, this is like a bookshelf of everything that you'd be reading. If you bought from the Kobo store. Now, most of the stuff that I'm reading, I'm usually putting it on myself, if it's a magazine or some other book that perhaps I've downloaded from one of these websites that we download stuff from. So I'm not really using that so much. My go-to app for PDF, my e-reader I'm using mostly for EPUB or Mobi files, books. So, but it's not particularly good for PDFs. Okay, so a lot of e-readers aren't good for PDFs. By the the nature of PDFs, I think really you really need a bigger screen. So my go-to app is it's called XODO. How you pronounce that? Odo with silent X, or Exodo. I'm not sure, but this I think is probably the best app for me. That and Adobe Reader, but I found on this tablet that it rendered the PDFs. Let me go to a magazine. It rendered the PDF, sorry, a lot quicker than the Adobe. Okay, so I've got it in night mode here, so let me take out of night mode. day mode. Okay, I think. Are we back? Okay, so, and let me just go back to settings here and take it out of, what do you call that? Reading mode, so that I can show the brightness. Okay, so reading mode is, I'll take it off. Okay, so there you'll see that it becomes a lot brighter. The brightness, the display at the moment, let me just see what I've got it on, is, okay, it's just over half. And it is pretty bright. I will turn it all the way up, okay, and then we'll go to my magazine. Now, I don't know if you can see here, this is some photography magazine. Really, that's very bright, and I probably wouldn't read it with that amount of brightness on, and certainly not if I was in my bed sleeping. I would have it a lot less bright than that. But look, it's that's full brightness. Usually I'll have it on about here, which is just about half brightness. The screen, as I said, is pin sharp, and the screen is a thing that you're going to buy this for. I mean, a 2K screen, if you could buy even a new one, is probably not much over $100. But if you could find a refurbished one or a good second-hand one, you're getting this 2K screen, which, I mean, it looks brilliant. You can fiddle around again with the settings, so get the screen looking the way that you would personally like it to look. For me, as I said, I like it at the half, about 50% of the brightness, and then when I'm reading my books and ebook, as ebook on a PDF, which I'm reading a few at the moment, I have on the reading mode just so it's easier on my eyes. So yep, this is why you're buying it, not really for the internal specifications or the fact that it's a beautiful looking thing. Okay, I mean, it's pretty industrial, utilitarian, however you want to describe it. It's actually, I quite like the design. I'm not saying that it's perfect, and it's not the thinnest tablet, as you can see, but I don't mind it. The sound from these speakers, let me see, two speakers here, is it's alright. Okay, so I mean, it's at the back for a start, so you know it's not going to be surround sound, but yeah, it's okay. What else? Now, on just kind of flicking around with your kind of normal applications, etc., you know, it opens up fine. It might not be as fast as my old Samsung or my Chewy that I had, or the Jai Dreamix Ultra tablet that I have at the moment, but to be honest with you, it's fast enough for my needs. And when I'm lying in bed, if I'm just watching something on the iPlayer, which is my want to do, yep, I mean, I find it totally acceptable. And when you consider that the Pro for this excuse me, the Pro and not the Con, the Pro for this is the fact of the 2K screen at the price that you're getting it for. So definitely it is worth considering if you're a big reader, maybe for work, just if you're wanting to use it for carrying around a lot of your paperwork and actually not carrying physical paper. I really do think that it is worth your while to consider. I'm not sure if Kobo are going to do an update, but it would be nice to have it up to at least Android 5, something like that. Well, that would be quite a nice thing if they could do that. I'm not sure. I hope that they do. When I first got it, there was a wireless update, and which I updated it to. And I think it was something to do with the Kobo skin, and obviously not the Google Android part of it. I downloaded a couple of apps. I'm kind of keeping it relatively app free, so just the apps that I need, which were the reading app, an Office app. Actually, I think it came with Office Suite, if I can remember, my VPN and KSA VPN is, you know, a must, especially for me wanting to look at the iPlayer. And you know, I watched Match of the Day, some football on this. I had it about 2/3 brightness, and the picture was phenomenal. Okay, it was easily as good as my Samsung 12-inch Note Pro that I had this year, which I sold. So you know, the screen was. That's why I bought it, because of the screen. You'll not see a pixel in sight whatsoever. What else can I say? As I said about the camera, camera is like it's not that good. Yeah, okay, so we'll forget about that. Alright, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not really going to be using the camera at all. I don't think. I'm really using it for internet browsing, watching some online TV stuff, and reading. And reading is my main thing. You know, when you're carrying it, I mean, you do feel it. You do feel that weight, but I kind of got used to it. And I saw some reviews before I bought it that people were saying, oh, your arm's going to get tired when you're reading and stuff like that. I suppose it depends on the way you're reading it. I generally, if I'm in bed reading and it's lying on my stomach, so not that I've got a big stomach, but it's taking the weight of the tablet. So yeah, I don't really think that is a big deal. Now, of course, it's the launcher here, or the stock launcher, is relatively uninspiring as well. But you know, you could you could put any of your own launcher of your own choice on there, whatever you wanted to do. Of course, it's up to you. But for me, the stock launcher is fine at the moment, and I have not really found any problems with it. I didn't find it sluggish at all, and as I said, I don't have that many apps, so everything else is, you know, seems to, it was working fine. The if I'm getting a signal here, let's see if we can get a signal. I don't get much of a signal in my office, so let's just see here. Oh, here's my video page, and then if anybody has been looking at my video channel, you will see most of the videos are of my kid, whom most of them are me fiddling around with my GoPro camera and filming her. So, you know, just ignore these. My last review was the BlackBerry Passport, which I'm still really enjoying using. I think it's an excellent phone, and I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend anybody to buy it new, but I certainly would look at somebody to buy a second-hand one, a good second-hand one. And I did notice, because I saw a review, that the AT&T, there's it. So that's at full volume. Okay, maybe not getting. Oh, that's it. Shut up, who wants to see him? So yep, that's going, that everything there is fine. Yeah, that BlackBerry Passport, before I forget, the AT&T version of it is actually less square. It seems it's got a rounded, the corners are rounded for the AT&T version as opposed to the unlocked version. It looks really cool. So, you know, I would heartily recommend it for anybody thinking about BlackBerry, and you know, looking at that Snap app, side loading it gives you more choice for your Android apps. So getting back to this, so is it worth to buy it? Well, okay, well, I'm going to say 100% yes, because really what you're paying for is that 2K screen, and if you can get this for the same price as I got it, this is far superior than a lot more expensive tablets out there. The screen is excellent. It feels very strong in the hand. There's no no flex, anything like that. perhaps it would be wise to have it in some kind of cover. I'm sure there are covers available. I'm not that keen on covers, and a screen protector, and I'm sure any 10.1 inch screen protector would do. So it's and I don't like screen protector either, which has obviously caused me problems. If anybody saw my Le TV Le Pro ad, because I dropped it, and with no good screen protector on it, the screen cracked. Anyway, what can we say? So I'm just flicking through. Here's the Kobo bookstore, which you can obviously make your own account for, and then you can download from there, and I might do that if there's certain books that I may need. I'm also using this for, I have a lot of PDF study for my job, and you know, I'm taking some professional certificates, so this is excellent for reading. I have obviously physical books, paper books, but this is great for PDFs as opposed to trying to read them on my PC. So you know, it's helping me study. So yeah, I would say that if you're not going to be using this for any heavy games, and you can get past the 16 GB storage. Now, I'm not sure if OTG works. I did try it, and I didn't seem to be able to get it to work. I'm not sure if that was my USB or if it was me, or it doesn't work on this. I'm not sure, but I mean, somebody could probably check it and see. So yeah, that is it then. The Kobo 10 HD, Kobo Arc 10 HD. It is worthwhile to get if you're in the market for a certain type of tablet. Anybody got any questions, any comments, whatever, the usual, just please leave them down at the bottom. I will do my best to answer it. So check on eBay, look at the price. If you're looking for, even for your kid or for studying, this could really be a bargain, and it's a wee bit of a secret kind of surprise. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. Bye.